Good day to you all, and welcome to the Voidcast and this very special Hogwarts themed one shot. We are joined today by some amazing people. First, our first time guest on the show, Sam. Sam is the healing clerk to my brutish paladin every Sunday in our non-lived stream D&D game. So, Sam, thank you for joining us tonight. Chat, give her a nice big welcome. Second, we all know him for being British, a game master extraordinaire. Ash is joining us once again as game master, or in this case, Professor Artemisia Lufkin. Third, fellow voidcaster Jasper. Jasper, while you have the spotlight on you, would you like to inform us of tomorrow's shows? Tomorrow's show,
Yeah.
singular.
So there's going to be a show tomorrow, and it will involve Michel as a guest. And you're going to talk about who's laughing. No, we're going to talk about the session that made you cry, the most, or made you laugh the most, actually, and why. So that's that's what Talking Voice is going to be about, and I hope you join you, but whatever.
Okay.
Is that okay, Michel?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. Exactly what I needed. So next up, forget about Ryan Reynolds, forget about Ryan Gosling. This is where it's at. One of my favorite Canadians, Shanks, is here tonight. Welcome. Also from the land across the Great Divide, Canada, and my equally favorite Canadian, the amazing, hopefully soon to be president, Vixx, is joining us. For those that might not know, you can find them on their own TTRPG channel, Topdown Tabletop, where they stream some awesome live play campaigns and other TTRPG related shows. They recently had a string of one-shots that were beyond amazing, so if you haven't yet, go check those out. You can also find Shanks and Vix on their respective own Twitch channels, streaming video games, art, map making, and much more. So, Shanks, President Vix, it's always an honor and a pleasure to welcome you here. Is there anything you would like to plug?
Go ahead, Vix. Oh, you're muted, though.
Am I?
Oh, no.
No, my mic is just really touchy. Yeah, I mean, right now we're on a bit of a break. Like, this is after we're done here with you guys today, we're taking our usual streaming day, which is Saturday, off. And we're going to be because we're going through some cast changes right now, we're kind of onboarding 3 new members. And so we won't be back till November 6th. But when we come back, we'll be playing more Wizards, actually, because we have an all Wizards D&D campaign. Wizards of Zakaria, so come check that out. And we'll also be we might be giving some stuff away when we get back.
Ooh.
Who knows?
Ooh.
Like free D&D stuff. You better show up.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Hey,
also
we're
sell
Dutch.
stuff.
You know we love free stuff.
If you sell stuff, you get money for it. That's also true.
Yeah. All right.
It's really a
It's
character.
going to be a long day, isn't it? It really is.
Okay. Well, before we start the game, I have a few announcements. One, the Call of Cthulhu one-shot that we were supposed to play 2 weeks ago has been rescheduled and will now take place the 8th of November, 8:30 p.m. Central European Time, right here on the Voidcast. We will be joined again by Shanks and Vix and returning guest Rick Vechel. To get you all in the mood, I wanted to show the trailer that I made, and I now realize that I didn't put it in my OBS, so I can't show it. But it's on on YouTube.
It's really
so
awesome.
cool, too.
We can just describe it.
It was really neat. There was like water at some point.
Wait,
Music,
yeah.
some names.
Yeah, there was water, there was
Dancing, but
music.
it was creepy.
Yeah, it was
Anyway.
kind of creepy.
If you want to go and check that out and go to our YouTube channel, you can find that teaser that they just so finely described, but also our previous Call of Cthulhu one shot. Let's see what else did I have? Yes. Second, or third, I lost count. If you want to follow more of what we do, then please hit that follow or subscribe button right here on Twitch or YouTube, and go to our Instagram, Facebook, or Discord to stay up to date with all the latest news, art, and shows. You can find links to all our social media at linktr.ee/voidcastlive. I also put a link in there to Topdown Tabletop's link tree. So if you go to our link tree, you can find all our links to our stuff as well as Topdown Tabletop. So,
Oh, that's nice of you.
now everyone who's
I
here
guess they haven't done that for us,
who's not subscribed to Topdown Tabletop's Twitch channel, you can do that right now. Just go to Twitch, go to their channel, hit that follow button or that subscribe button. We can wait. It will take like 10 seconds. So you can do that right now. Anyone want something to say while they are gone?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Better to
You're
burn out
ridiculous.
than to fade away. Although, I guess, maybe not.
How are the sound levels for those that were already subscribed or following Topdown Tabletop? Are they okay? If not, just let me know in chat and I can readjust while we are streaming. So, welcome back. Everyone's back, I'm assuming. Thank you for doing that. We're almost ready to start. One last thing. The game we are about to play was designed by David Bruno Broodman and powered by the Apocalypse. You can find it for free on DBB... what's that? A dash? No? A streepje? Come on. What's a... it's not an underscore, but an upper score.
Hyphen.
It's the hyphen. Oh yeah, the hyphen. Sorry.
Hyphen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Respect the hyphen. Sorry.
Upper score.
DBB hyphen
Wouldn't that be above?
.itch.io/Hogwarts hyphen RPG. I will put a link down in the thing, so don't worry about it. But go check it out. It's awesome that he made it. He made it available for free for everyone to use. So now, does anyone want to say anything before we take our train from platform 9 3/4?
Oh man, you still have to do the train.
Yeah, well, obviously, we don't get there.
Well, you obviously can't be a good wizard without proper training.
Training. Oh yeah, true. I'm laughing my ass off.
Going to bonk you with magic.
Everyone got their wand ready? I'm kicking it to the intro. We'll be right back after we take this train to Hogwarts.
Guess I got to talk now, eh?
Yeah, we're live. We're back. You need to talk. Tell us. Lead us into this adventure, Ash.
Okay. Hogwarts. The magical boarding school for witches and wizards. Established in the 10th century, it has been educating the next generation of magical persons for nearly 800 years. Traditions run deep within these hallowed halls, from the sorting ceremony and the Tri-Wizard tournament to the Hufflepuff Midnight Munchies. Each group seemingly has its own traditions and ways of being together. This very week, Halloween is to be celebrated, that most magical of nights. All past students remember their Halloween feasts with utmost fondness. The castle is decorated from top to bottom. The feast is legendary, and the mood of celebration is infectious. It is on the very morning of Halloween, Saturday 31st, 1829. While most fourth years are in a state of much elation, with a trip to Hogsmeade to enjoy, the age of steam has made this village a magical destination for all, and the new shop, Honeyduke's Sweet Emporium, is a wonder of modern chocolomancy. Not all fourth-year students are caught in the excitement, though. Under the lake, just off the dungeons, the green dancing light of the water illuminates a scene of morose waiting. In a chair by a low fire sits Septimia Silvermane.
Septima, actually. Yes, so a young, attractive, charming-looking, well-dressed Slytherin sits with his feet up on an ottoman, sipping the finest tea from his goblet. I can't believe that they actually expect me to attend detention. Is nobody listening to me? Zalda?
Sorry, I was reading something.
What are you reading then? Note?
I can only imagine that you did something wrong, Septima. Somewhere along the lines you got your ass handed to you, and now you have to join, the class with all the cool kids. Because all the cool kids go to detention, right?
Excuse you, but I did not get my ass handed to me. If anything, Warren got his ass handed to him. That lousy bully.
Well,
What even happened?
Well, I was in the library doing absolutely nothing wrong behind the bookcases with Marissa, and I overheard a kerfuffle. Came to see that Warren was picking on that new muggle-born child from Hufflepuff. Told him to back off or I'd kick his ass. He drew his wand and I stupefied him.
Wow, that was super brave. Well done.
No, I just can't stand when... I mean, there's plenty of reasons to pick on some kids around here, but the nature of their birth? How pedestrian.
I mean, some people still have their issues.
Yes, well, they're running rampant in this household. It's a wonder that there's even two of you worth talking to.
Well, pure blood is as pure blood does. We all have our issues, yeah. We all grew up in households that told us that muggle-born were just, lesser.
Don't get me wrong, I don't have any problem with muggle-borns.
I could say I don't have problems with them either, but, I kind of feel a certain tension whenever I'm around one.
I think that's just all in your head.
Could be.
They just want to be wizards like us. In fact, they have to work harder to do it.
I don't think that's actually the case.
We grew up around it. It's part of us. It's part of our society, part of our culture.
Well, I don't think we should be put down because of that.
I'm not saying we should be put down. I'm just saying we should be leading the way. And if we're not striving to be the absolute greatest, then just get the hell out of my school already.
Oh, you're so progressive.
Yeah.
So, talking of leading the way, the rather enchanting snake clock over the mantelpiece informs you that it is 5 to 7, and therefore nearly time for your detention to start.
Well, I suppose we best get going. Don't want to be late.
Well,
Don't you think it's a border that we can't just apparate?
yes. That's something I think about a lot, actually.
Well, rules are rules, and we've got to go.
Right, let's get going. Out of curiosity, though, what is it that you did, Moxley?
Oh, I kind of tipped the stupefied person. He just stood there, broke his ankle. Somehow I got involved in your shenanigans, and you weren't even there anymore. So
Sounds like something you would do.
no, punishment is punishment.
And Griselda? Thought you were supposed to be some sort of model student.
Yeah, I got caught releasing a load of puff schemes that the charm teacher was trying to use. Thankfully, she caught me after I freed them. I don't tolerate animal abuse.
Why aren't you in Gryffindor then, or Hufflepuff?
Don't insult me.
That's an insult. There we go.
So this conversation is sort of happening as you're walking out of the dungeons and up towards the kitchens. You're going to your detention, which is with Artemisa Lufkin, who is the head of Hufflepuff House. So her office is just sort of down near the kitchens. The way is actually going to lead you up through into the main hall and right past the entrance to the library, where two industrious Ravenclaws have their noses buried in a couple of books.
Sorry. Cassia is seated with her feet up on her chair, and she's holding up a book, clearly a notebook, nothing from any sort of library. It's completely tattered, and she's just muttering to herself. Flash of cow's bane. She has her eyes closed tightly. 4 caterpillars. Then she kind of like opens up one eye. 5 caterpillars. Shoot. And she just slams the book closed and puts her hands on the table, cupped together, and looks over at her. She kind of like tucks her hair, which is like light blue, has a talon-like clip stuck in it, and she shifts over, looking at her classmate. Psst.
What? Oh my god, what time is it?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna ask you.
Oh shoot. But I haven't finished this chapter yet. I don't know if I can take the book with me. Do you think that'll be alright?
Just shove it in your cloak. Exactly. I do it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should be going then.
She kind of like unceremoniously just shoves her hand inside of her shirt, like digging around pretty like rigorously, and she pulls out a small little salamander and shoves it in her pocket, picks up the rest of her belongings. Well, let's get going then. I've never been to detention before. I don't want to mess it up. Is that a thing? Can you mess up detention?
No, you'll be fine. I've been there a few times, you know, but nah, we just sit there, they give us some task to do, it'll be fine, and we leave, we can go back to the library. I just hope that it won't take long. Some of these professors, they like to lead you, to actually take you off the premises of Hogwarts. and into the how you call it, the forests and stuff. Ugh. No, that's. I hope it's not one of those detentions.
Oh, there's a couple of things that I needed. I do hope.
From the
Sorry, no offense to you,
forest?
but I do hope that we get to do that.
Oh, I really
So
don't.
as-
But if you really need it, I can help you look for it.
So as you're having this conversation, you're sort of walking out of the library and come almost smack into 3 Slytherins all heading in the same direction.
Hey, Acacia.
Oh, gosh, what you guys? You didn't even make any noise as you were coming.
Yes, we don't stomp around like elephants, Cassia.
You just
Don't
sit
you
her
watch where you're going?
Oh, don't tell me you guys have detention too.
in. Yeah, you know.
Well,
Some of
despite
us
the letter that my
detention.
father wrote, yes, I have to attend detention.
Were you beating up that bully again?
Well, all I did was stupefy him, really. It wasn't.
All
I
right.
didn't think it was out of line given the circumstances.
Well,
Yeah.
come on,
Really
guys. We don't want to be late. Enough chit chat.
Right. Well, this one's nose is browner than my boots. Let's get moving.
This is such a.
Sorry, I don't speak troll.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I see how it is now. Well then, next time the bullies come knocking, don't come looking to me.
Oh, I don't need your help, thanks.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Well, I'm going anyway because I don't want to get in any more trouble.
So you have a choice of sort of 3 or 4 doors. You all know the door down to the dungeons. You know the door down to the Potion Master's study. You've got the door to the library, and that leaves just one last door, which is where all the Hufflepuffs tend to sort of head down towards after dinner, which leads you down towards quite a wide sort of cellar. It's not quite a dungeon. It's more of a sort of a big storage cellar with barrels and pictures of fruit. And there is a large oaken door with a brass plate on it that says Artemisa Lufkin, and then in brackets, Minister of Magic, former, head of Hufflepuff House.
Well, I'm not gonna talk.
Okay, I guess I'll knock then. So Laufey Lovegood, a tall, pale, curly-haired, glasses-wearing boy, walks up to the door and raps his knuckles against the wood.
So, the door swings open, and you are confronted behind the desk. I have to get into character now.
You have your cloak of invisibility?
Yeah, he is.
You keep fading into the background.
You can tell I'm a professor because I'm wearing a hat.
Yes, clearly.
Is quite a stern-looking witch. She's of some age, possibly late 50s, early 60s, but it's very, very difficult to tell. Her silver hair is all tied back into a bun, and she looks up from what she was scribbling. There's kind of her desk is kind of a mess. There's a couple of owls sat next to her. She's kind of taking and delivering letters and writing quick scribble answers. And she looks up and she says, "Ah, yes, the detention children." And she kind of looks around. Now, there's nowhere really in her office to sit, and she just, while still writing, sort of flicks her wand a couple of times, and 5 quite austere wooden chairs just kind of spin into being and arrange themselves in front of her. And she's just continuing to write.
Okay.
Sia leans over to Loxley and is like, "Is that what we're gonna be known as now? The detention children? I don't know if I like that."
Don't worry about it.
Griselda, she sort of straightens her clothes does her hair, and walks straight up to Miss Lufkin. Oh, Miss Lufkin, it's so great to see you again. I hope you got Mummy and Daddy's invitation.
She kind of looks up. Ah, the last time we met, madam, you were letting some of my puffskeins go. Take a seat.
Griselda
Good
kind
to
of
know.
hangs her head.
So, Kasia, can I sit next to you? I have some questions about arithmancy in conjunction with, other stuff and astronomy. And I want to consult you on some things about that. And we can do that while we're doing detention. Can we do that while we're doing detention, please?
Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Well, I
I
have
don't
no
know.
objections to it. Of course, you can sit with me.
I guess I'll sit next to you then, Septima.
The hell you will. He walks halfway to the chairs and he says, Accio, and pulls the chair towards him, like out of the line, and sits on it like backwards.
I
So
just
all of this has gone completely over the head of Artemisa, by the way. She is diligently answering correspondence.
She's a Hufflepuff after all.
I'll just take a seat. I'm here to accept my punishment. I feel like I've done nothing wrong, but I guess they think I did something wrong. It's fine.
So, with a last little flourish, Artemisa finishes her letter, and she rolls it up, quick little bit of wax, stamps it with a ring on her finger, passes it to the owl, which flies out of the nearest window. She leans forward, and as though she's reading a sort of pre-prepared speech, So, as you know, the great feast will be happening later on tonight. As per tradition, the head table requires a table decoration. I'm sure you've seen it before. The giant pumpkin that sits on the staff table.
Oh, we're going
Now-
outside. Don't tell me we're going outside.
Now, every year, a group of fourth years are invited to recover the pumpkin for the head table. We always select detention students to allow them to act for the greater good of the school. So, in achieving this, I always provide the following information. There are 2 ways to collect this prize. It is up to you as a group to decide how best to go about the task. Also, while you may have your wands, magic cannot solve all of your problems. You might find that useful. And she reaches in front of her, and there's an unlit candle. She pulls it towards her, and she says, Hortus. And the candle glows a brilliant blue. Sort of almost too dazzling to look at. And as it dies away, she just takes her wand and just pushes the candle across to the edge of the table. So, at the end of your journey, light the candle, and it will return you right back to my study.
Accio.
So, portkeys will activate once at a specific time. So you're going to have a couple of seconds just to huddle round and touch the portkey.
As of now. Or do
Yeah.
we have time to ask questions?
No, yeah, so you've got time to ask questions. It's
Oh.
good. You've got...
Professor Lufkin, you mentioned there was a choice to be made on how we were going about it. What exactly
Yes.
is this choice?
Well, I've never made the journey myself, but I am told that you are given a choice right at the beginning, and if you all make the decision together, you can choose Path A or Path B. I'm told that Path B is quite lovely.
And this is all inside the castle.
Oh no.
Okay.
So wait, we are going outside? Oh well, Mars is aligned with Jupiter right now. So that's cool. Although it's a bit foreboding. I've seen stuff.
This is such a drag. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see the choices when we get there. Then.
Yes, and if you hurry back, you'll make it in time for the feast.
Oh yeah, the feast.
So our detention is like a thing that normal people do anyway. I thought it was supposed to suck. Well, I guess it still does, but
Well, it's going to suck given the company that we have to keep, but
No, I'm perfectly sure that you'll all get along fine, and
I-
it'll be a cinch. You'll be back before you know it.
I think you're exactly right. Thank you, Miss Lufkin. This sounds very fair.
Okay. So Septima is the port key.
yes, gather
Guess
around.
we're all huddling up around you then.
Okay.
Well, consider
So-
it a great dream come true for you then. Standing this close to greatness after all.
So as you all reach out and touch the port key, you feel as though a hook has sort of reached inside you and hooked onto you, and you're magically teleported away as in a giant flash of blue. You arrive and land with a clatter in a dark forest.
Oh my god, the forest, I knew it. Oh, why did I say it?
So the first thing you notice is the forest is actually quite thin. Like there's not a lot of trees, and there are no mountains around you at all. This is not on the grounds of Hogwarts. The next thing you notice is that stretching ahead of you is a giant pumpkin patch.
Well then, this should be easy. Oh, can you
guess.
believe that excuse for a teacher from Hufflepuff? Magic can't solve all your problems. Maybe not with a Hufflepuff behind the wand.
Need I remind you that Professor Lufkin has been the, the, the minister 2 times before
Yes,
starting
well.
her teaching job at Hogwarts?
As I understand it, that's largely a bureaucratic role.
She's well respected, though.
She's very well respected. Daddy and Mummy talk about her all the time.
As do mine, in less favorable terms.
Well, no one asked you, Septimus. Should we get on with this then?
Yes, I do think it's time.
Cassia, what were the ingredients that you wanted to find in the forest so we can keep an eye out?
Oh, yes. I'm looking for daisy root. A lot of it.
I'm taking out a scroll and a quill because I always carry that around me and I immediately start taking notes, of course.
Some wood tar. And she just starts like listing off a bunch of different types of roots and flowers that she needs for various potions.
All right.
As she's like striding forward, kind of adjusting her clothing, all of which looks like it's been handed down to her by someone much larger than she is.
So while writing them down, I'll be asking a lot to if you can tell me what it looks like because I probably don't know.
So this is a wonderful distraction that is kind of going on in the background. Everyone's kind of vaguely interested, and out of the darkness behind you, you hear a very deep, sonorous voice, and it says, "Ah, my tribute."
I pick up my wand and I hold it in front of me.
Did Eric make that?
Eric did indeed
Yeah, I
make the
recognize his artwork.
Oh, that's cool.
That's amazing. Eric, he's not even in chat, I think, but thank you so much. That looks amazing.
all just off. I just said to him the voice, and this is what he gave me. So,
That's awesome.
so every year it is prophesized by the Squashy Mancer, and one of the little pumpkins in front of him just kind of jumps up and down as he hears the word Squashy Mancer and says, "That's me!" Every year it is prophesized you will come. We have the traditional choice for you to claim my head as your prize. Either you beat the challenges of will, bravery, and conviction, or I eat you. Choose your fate.
I don't see why we don't just tear him down now. Take it by force.
It's
Oh no.
Can't be
I wouldn't
right.
do
He's
that.
not actually going to eat us, is he?
Might try.
I'm usually
We
big,
don't know.
I'm usually a big fan of challenges, but these were challenges about bravery, and I don't think that I would be much good in those.
I had exactly the same thought, but as soon as he gave us the second option, I'm thinking I like the first one.
I have to agree with you. I was thinking the same thing. Just fighting this thing seems like such a drag.
So I couldn't live with myself if I didn't mention that, everything is lying to make it a really bad night for us. I've talked to you about you, Cassia. No, what I see in the stars and everything, how it's all mapped out, the future and stuff. I feel things coming our way. I think it will be a dreadful night, whatever choice we make.
Normally, I would try to cheer you up, but looking at what's ahead of us, I'm starting to agree. And she kind of like takes one of the daisies that she found on the way and like puts it into Loxley's hair, and
As
then
you're
puts
saying
one
all of
into her own.
Thank you.
as you're saying all of that, Loxley, the Squashy Mancer is actually looking at you, and from the depths of the pumpkin patch you hear, "He has the sight." And
No, no,
now all
no.
the pumpkins are looking at you.
I have the knowledge and a bit of the sight, maybe, you know. But
Well, go on then. Tell them something that's going to happen. Press the little vegetables.
I think someone is going to get squashed tonight.
They all sort of huddle together, and and you can hear from the center of the pumpkin patch. And they come back, and the Squashy Mancer says, "Does that mean you're going to get eaten?"
Well, humans do tend to squash as well, but I know a vegetable that does it better. So, maybe the bad is for you, although I've got a bad feeling anyway. But that's just my normal mood.
And they go back into a little huddle again, and just start whispering amongst themselves.
Griselda, aren't you pretty good at talking your way in and out of things? Why don't you try to convince this pumpkin to maybe not eat us? It's not a big thing that we're asking for, I don't think. I mean, he's survived every year, it seems, right?
I can give it a go. But I think you'd be so much better at it. Why don't you try?
Me talking to a magical creature? She's like shaking in her boots. Like you can see her hands are just.
Don't worry, I'll give it a go. So Griselda goes up to the pumpkin and tries to put her charm on.
Gonna get her eaten. She kind of slinks back a couple of steps.
So which charm are you trying?
Let me have a look. Oh, I thought I was just going to talk to it first of all and see if we
you're
could come
trying
to
to be-
some sort of agreement.
You're
A
trying to be
charisma.
charming rather
Charming,
than charmed.
yes.
It's an
Let's not
important
go
magical
straight
distinction. Okay. So as you approach, the pumpkin starts to draw himself up, and this goes on for some time as all of the fronds and tendrils and vines all sort of come together to form about a 9-foot giant with the largest pumpkin head. You realise that's quite a forced perspective shot there. This pumpkin is the largest pumpkin you've ever seen. And he kind of looks down from his 9 foot at you and says, "Oh, does this mean I get to eat you? Nobody ever chooses that option."
Cassie is like taking more steps back. She is now standing willingly beside Septima.
Griselda shoots Cassia an evil glare for making her do this.
She mouths, sorry.
I was hoping we could just come to an arrangement.
I thought we already had an arrangement. The castle sends me tributes. They either complete the tasks or I eat them. And as a reward, the castle claims my head.
So the second part doesn't really work for us.
So, you will want to do the challenges then, in the vain attempt to survive.
Griselda realizes that it's not worth the fight anymore and sort of just goes, yeah, that's fine.
But
and
wait,
steps back.
didn't Professor just say that the second option was the most beautiful route or something?
Ah, she might have said that the second option would seemingly be the easiest route. She's quite literal, that professor of you.
So the easiest route is that it ends very soon?
Yes. I eat you, and then the castle claims my head.
Ah. But how do you actually eat us? Like, do you have a digestive system?
And it reaches out a large hand, as though to pick you up.
Uh-huh. I duck.
I don't think I would have a problem. Although, as I say, nobody's taken that choice in centuries.
Can we
Right,
ask you
well,
some
I've,
questions before we make our choice?
You may.
Who was the last person to choose option B?
I don't remember everyone's name who passes here, but it was a few centuries ago, and 3 students were sent by Merlin. They did
Laffy.
not survive.
Laffy, I don't think he asks for our names before he eats us.
I don't know, it just seems like maybe I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but I just want to know what happens to those that get eaten. They're dead.
They become part of the pumpkin patch. And that's the first time you notice that the pumpkins are all kind of, the little pumpkins are all kind of talking to each other, and then they just suddenly stop and look at the giant pumpkin.
Come pumpkins.
You see, we're learning things. So,
It's definitely
But I
option
can-
A.
I can't believe I can't believe that the professor would send us out to do this with this high
Well, Miss
risk.
Lovekin knows my family, and I know she wouldn't send me into anything that I couldn't handle. We'll be fine. If other people can do it, so can we.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Just it's just such a hassle. Okay, well, I guess we're choosing option A then.
He kind of shrinks back down. All the tendrils go out across the pumpkin patch, and he looks a little bit annoyed. Oh,
Can you tell us about the challenges that lie ahead?
so you have 3 challenges to complete: a test of will, a test of bravery, and then finally a test of conviction. You should all be aware of your convictions in life. And he looks specifically at the 2 Ravenclaws, as he then says, "Not all answers are in the library."
What? No,
Somewhere in the
I
basement.
agree with you. Sometimes you have to discover things for yourself to gain new knowledge.
So I think it's time you attempted the first challenge. And to your left, one of the trees just magically opens up into a doorway into the darkness with steps leading down.
Right.
Well,
You, Septimus.
Yeah, after you, brave Septimus.
Cassia, who's standing right beside him, just kind of pushes him and follows.
He sort of like angrily looks over his shoulder. It's Septima. It is not that hard to learn. And then he walks forward through the gateway.
Tomato, tomato.
Cassia
follow
kind of.
Peppermint there.
Cassia
You won't be
kind
alive
of-
long enough for us to care. and
She
learn
kind
it.
of waits for everyone else to like follow them down.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, I guess we don't die beneath the sky at least. Maybe that's a sad thing. I'll take
So-
up the rear.
The stairs lead down into the darkness, and you get no sort of sense of there being anything left or right of you. You're just kind of on the stairs heading down, and then as you reach the bottom, suddenly a bright light as 4 torches are lit around you, and you find yourself stood in the centre of the Great Hall. But it's not quite as you remember the Great Hall. It's definitely the same room, but there's no tables, no chairs, and no doorways. And the stairs that you've just come down are gone. Right in the centre, on a plinth, stands Hufflepuff's magical cup. You've heard it described, but never seen it. A beautiful golden cup with 2 badgers as the handles, and a large ornate H inscribed in the centre. Around this plinth is a whole bunch of broken stone. Where the 4 house tables would normally be are 4 plinths. On top of each, a grey owl. There's writing inscribed into each of the plinths. but it seems to be utter nonsense.
A riddle. Oh dear. Well, I think it's up to the Ravenclaws then, right? You do you.
Seriously giving up so easily.
I'm not even starting. That's the thing, Septimus.
So,
I suppose you wouldn't be much help, would you? You can't even learn a name.
What can I say? Life's hard. That's just a general thing I say when I don't know what to say. So, okay, let's take a look at the riddle.
Cassia, I think it's your time to shine now.
Cassia kind of steps out into the room. It almost looks like she's expecting some sort of trap the way that she steps forward, just one foot softly, and then when she realizes that it's okay, she goes forward and looks at yeah, like what does she see when she looks at the letters? Is there any sort of organization to them at all?
They just seem like random letters inscribed onto the plinths. The first one has HAWRT. The second one, YVEN. The third one, RAEF. And the fourth one, TMENA and L.
Sorry, what were the first two?
I got them.
HAWR and T.
So the first one is Rav, says Laufey, as he is jotting down some notes on a piece of paper. The
Second one is envy.
The last one, yeah. The last one is mental, and the second to last was fear.
Fear.
Fair. You're fair.
Fear.
It's very simple. You should really learn to just try.
Read
a
a book
apply
every
yourself.
once in a while. Gosh.
Okay. Enough.
I'm trying to encourage you, not insult you. Not like I'm not Septimo,
No,
okay?
but Laufey's talking as well.
I'm not trying to insult you, I'm just... I mean, we've been over this. We've known each other for 4 years.
So as you're walking between the plinths, there's crunching going on as you're walking across broken bones.
Bones.
Are those
Stones.
human bones?
No, stones.
Stones?
Stones.
Yes.
Stones or
Stones.
bones? This is quite
Stones are
different.
bones. Yeah.
Is this your stream or one of mine?
Oh dear.
Okay, stones. That's very different.
Yes.
She's walking over broken stones here right now, underneath her feet. Okay. Well, that was simple, right, Fluffy?
Yeah. That was
What do we
easy,
do
so-
now with this?
I don't know. Let's look around. There's the cup with the badgers, the Hufflepuff cup. What else? Can I make some sort of try to examine the room again?
Yeah,
Look
can we
with
like
this
Yes.
new
So would you like to give me the first roll of the stream?
Yes,
which
that's
would
why
be an
I-
investigation
That's why
roll.
I asked.
I would like to help.
Yep, that is fine.
Sorry, can you explain the thing about the owls again? Or owls?
Yes. So where the house tables would normally be are 4 plinths. It has the scrambled writing on the plinth
Right.
and a grey owl on top each
Like a
plinth.
statuette.
Like a statue of a grey owl.
Okay.
Correct. How did the roll go?
That's a 3. I'm still holding that book, and I'm focusing more on the pages in the book than I am my surroundings.
Hey,
to be honest.
So I think what happens is you actually slide over on some of the broken stones and are just kind of lying on your back, looking at the ceiling, which is by this time a beautiful sort of sunset going on the ceiling, which is lovely. But you don't learn anything else.
Okay. I didn't see it. Sorry, it seems like I've tripped.
Well, why are we the only ones doing the work here? I've
Well-
solved the puzzle. Somebody else step in now.
But you know how Slytherin is. If they
You,
can leave the dirty work to other people, then
Excuse
they will.
you, I have no aversion to doing my fair share or working hard. All I've ever done. But you seemed to be on a trail and I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay, fair enough.
You've unscrambled the words. What do you think it means? What are we supposed to do with these words?
That's the part that we're trying to solve right now.
If only you had wands.
Yes, well, I was about to use it. Right? Perhaps if we can't go to them, we can bring them to us.
Maybe we put them in the right order.
I'm just trying to go over it. It seems so weird that, like, they're all mental states, but then the category mental is also in there, and then there's fear, which is an emotion, and then envy is a emotion on a higher level, and fear is like a primary emotion.
Cassia is just gonna like unceremoniously wave her wand at the one that she believes to be envy, and she's gonna say illegibilis, and she's going to cast the text scrambling charm to try to make them go in the right order.
So, would you like to roll me some dice, please?
Yes.
You actually found.
So that's a 10.
Excellent. So you only cast that at the envy, but a 10 is a really good success.
I
So
add my
you-
modifier to that too, so that
You
would
do
be
add your
12.
modifier to that, so it's a
It'd
12.
be 12. Yeah.
Brilliant. So because you're kind of flourishing your wand and kind of waving it in random directions, you actually manage to unscramble all of them. And so you find that you have wrath, envy, fear, and lament.
So
75%.
Okay, I admit I
exactly
was
what I
wrong
would
on
expect
that
from a
one.
Ravenclaw.
I admit I was wrong on that one. How many did you guess again, Septima?
I had guessed them all, but nobody was letting me speak.
Sure you did.
A likely story.
Yeah.
Sure. Don't talk, but then, you know,
I never
after the
told you
fact,
not to talk.
You didn't know anything.
I knew them all as well, but you know.
Anyway, so the little owl, the statues of the owls are little on top of these things, right?
Yeah, it's sort of 3 feet tall. Quite large for an owl.
Oh, okay. So they're, yeah. So not something I could just be like Accio and like grab this statue. Probably quite heavy.
No, that's true. The one spell that you know is not going to work.
What about the cup? Could I?
Just sat on its plinth.
Accio cup.
Nothing happens.
It's stuck, I suppose. Do you think
Maybe-
unscrambling those words actually undid the whatever trap is involved on the floor?
Oh, I
Wow.
don't think there was a trap. I just tripped over my ropes. I'm sorry. Did
Oh.
you think there was a trap?
I did, yes.
No, I just...
I assumed that you were capable of walking after all these years' practice.
So
I deserve
Oh.
you
that
have
one.
you have all the letters in the correct order. Is there anything else that people want to try and have a look at with these statues or the surrounds?
You said there's
Sure.
broken stone all over the floor, right?
There is a lot of broken stone all over the floor.
Are they
Does
just-
it look like it was once an owl statue?
Would you like to give me some sort of investigation roll?
I
for the
would like to do
stones?
that. Absolutely.
I help Septimus Coppermane.
Yep.
What is that?
Is that not good?
I don't know what I'm adding, but it's a 3 so far.
Why are we rolling this low? 2d6.
These ones are going in dice jail.
And I'm not. I am.
Hmm?
What did you do?
I rolled a. I think I rolled an 8 as a result.
Okay. So I think what happens is Septima kind of picks up a couple of the stones and kind of looks at them and isn't really that interested, throws them away. But as he throws them away, they land the other way up. And you notice that there's writing on the stones.
Hey, writing
Hmm.
on the stones. Let's take a look. I'll take a closer inspection.
Reparo. Man, what's the Latin for stone?
Ow.
Reparo is absolutely correct.
But
If you'd like
said-
to roll me,
Yeah,
if
I
you'd
do
like
a
to roll me some
reparo
dice.
charm on the broken pieces.
Okay. Would you like to roll me some dice?
I will. That's a 7.
Plus modifier?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have one. That's a 9.
Okay. So, as you say that, all the stones coalesce into a tablet, which then sits on front of the plinth, where the Hufflepuff cup is on its plinth. And it says on it, "The houses, ever a contest, however, united by the traits that would signal their doom."
So
So what
these
do we
negative
think?
things are the traits of the houses. Wait, what?
What is the trait most likely to bring doom to our house?
Raw? Or no, envy, of course.
Envy.
Yeah, envy of the powerful.
Okay.
No,
And it's at
not
that
powerful.
point you notice that envy is actually where the Slytherin table normally sits.
I think I'm going to move that one and put Wrath there.
Put Raph
Yes.
at the Slytherin table.
I think it's fitting.
Why?
I've always been quick to violence.
So Wrath is currently in the position of the Gryffindor table, which you
They
would
would
be
need
aware of.
fear.
Yeah, they would need fear. Oh no, envy is Ravenclaw then. Yeah.
I guess I have to be honest. I'm not great with the emotional stuff. So
Lament is like grief and sorrow.
That's the
that's
bane of
Hufflepuff. then.
Hufflepuff.
Definitely Hufflepuff.
All right. Well, let's get to it then, and we arrange in the order we just
Okay.
discussed.
So the plinths, you are unable to move them.
Oh. What about the owls?
No. Part of the
Wingardium Leviosa.
That has no effect.
Oh.
You
I
also
just-
said
I just-
Leviosa, and it's Leviosa. But yes.
Oh, okay. What if we move the Hufflepuff
I think these spells
Huh.
are.
to the one that has the lament?
You can't move the cup.
Be right back, sorry people.
It's okay. So, what else signifies the houses?
So what else is there in the room that we have 4 of? So there's apparently the locations of the tables. There is the four houses. We have the 4 mental states, feelings. We have 1 cup for Hufflepuff.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What else is there? That we have
So what? Okay.
She was like, I got this off a children's box.
Yeah,
Okay.
for
Children's
sure.
cereal
For
box,
sure,
you guys.
yeah.
Come
It's
on.
fine. It's fine. So, what else do you associate with the houses?
Colors. If I use Colovaria spell on the owls.
I
Go on,
hadn't
then.
thought of that. It's actually quite brilliant.
Colovaria.
So, would you like to give me a dice roll and tell me which owl you're pointing at and what color you're trying to turn it?
Griselda, if Septima ever drives you insane, you're always welcome in Ravenclaw with these skills. That's very
Thanks.
impressive.
Except I don't think she wants to be an underachiever.
Don't speak for me. Uh,
It is that you have a
7.
pretty face because
A 7.
you have nothing else.
and then
And-
Face and your insults.
Which one were you pointing at? And which one? What color were you trying to turn it?
sorry, I was adding my spell modifier, so 7, 8, 9. And I
yep.
was doing it at the Lament for Hufflepuff, yellow.
Okay, so the lament briefly flashes yellow, but then turns back to grey.
I guess,
Perhaps we had it wrong. But,
or we should do them all at the same time.
maybe. That's a good idea.
There's 4 statues.
I will line up at the Wrath one then, ready to cast that charm as well.
Yeah.
So what color would you like to change Wrath to?
Green.
Okay. And what color would you like to change Envy to?
Blue.
Okay. And what color would you like to change Lament to?
Gryffindor.
And
Red.
Fear?
Yellow. Right?
No.
No, that's the other way around, right? Fear is for Gryffindor.
Fear,
Lament
yeah.
for
Fear red,
Hufflepuff.
Lament yellow.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So do the words have any associations with colors?
Yeah. Well, no, Wrath would be red.
Oh, quite possibly. Yeah.
So green.
Green,
Green
with
would still be
envy.
envy.
Green with envy. Oh.
Okay.
You're feeling blue.
Oh,
Taking
damn.
it out of my head to put in the thingy.
And
Pensive.
All right.
What would fear be?
Yellow.
yeah, yellow.
Yellow bellied.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, we figured it out.
So who's casting the charm? That's the question.
I'll cast. Can I do them all at once?
You can, yes. Now that you know the colors, you can just cast them all.
All right. Then I will have a go at it and say, what was it? Colovaria.
Lavaria.
And that is a
All first year spell.
first year spells. So
Well, we haven't used them in a while. I mean, come on, they're first year spells.
it is a magic roll, right? And it is in my
Yes.
flavored
Yes,
pool. So I get another +1 to it.
you certainly do.
Okay. So then that is 8.
Okay, so the Gryffindor Wrath turns red. The Slytherin Envy shines green. The Hufflepuff Yellow burns with fear. And the blue Ravenclaw Owl has a blue sorrow of lament. The owls then... all the colour leaches off the owls and goes directly into the cup to form a potion. Rising up from the potion, which kind of looks silvery, as though threads of silvery thought have all combined together and raised up into the likeness of Helga Hufflepuff as she rotates within the cup. And she
I'm
says,
not eating that.
with a very sort of happy, joyous voice, "Oh, children, why feast when there is work to do?" And then melts back into the cup and disappears.
Well, that was disappointing.
Yeah, I expected a bit more, to be honest.
As that happens, the silvery trail goes down the side, out, and forms a doorway on the far end
Ah, there we
hall
go.
where you would normally exit from.
You see, that's what I expected.
Finally. Well, let's go on then. And Septima wastes no time.
Yeah, I follow Septima closely.
I do as well.
Cassia follows Laffy and is kind of keeping like half pace behind him. And as they're leaving the room, she's like, "What even are you in here for?"
Well, I've been doing some experimenting, and
Naturally.
yeah, I've had this interest in demon summoning. You know, I've told you before, just as a curiosity of sorts, but
Understandable. That's how you gain knowledge, right?
yeah, and I discovered that they are keeping a Bogart here to teach students specific spells. And nobody's ever seen the true form of a Bogart. And this might sound weird, but there's not a whole lot that I fear. So I thought that maybe by some trial and error and trying some different stuff, I could maybe learn what they actually look like. But something went wrong, and yeah, that's when the professor found me, and well, that's why I'm in detention. What about you, actually?
Well, the usual. Casting the antler growing hex onto somebody who was being mean to one of my friends. They didn't like it. Their head got caught in a bush that they were standing nearby. It was quite amusing, and she's just kind of giggling to herself now as she's walking through this doorway.
I'm pretty sure that was quite the sight.
I think so too.
Oh, so you're the one that did that. It was hilarious.
Yes, this is my
It
first time
was.
getting caught. I normally am pretty discreet about these sorts of things, but well, there's really no way to hide it.
So, the door at the end leads to another one of these staircases, where it's complete darkness, and you have no gauge of anything to your left or right. Just the next stair beneath you, and on and on and on. And this time you seem to be descending for quite some time, and you feel dark and cold. And as you reach the bottom, you find yourself on springy moss in a forest clearing, with the moon rising just over the horizon. And I'm going to ask now, how is everyone? Would you like a quick break, or would you like to continue?
could go on. But if anyone wants a break, we can have a break.
That
I have
could
a
hurt.
screen prepared.
A couple minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, a couple of minutes.
I think we can take a couple of minutes before the next task.
All right. Going down the stairs, we'll take a short break. Stick around.
Brick Screenio.
Yeah, Vixx, if you want to throw it to the break screenio again, then I'll have that prepared. We'll be back in 5
All right.
minutes.
You got it? Brick Screenio. And we're back, yo.
Thank you.
We're back, yo.
Bacchio scream.
So, thank you all for sticking with us. We'll now continue our way down the stairs to see what trials lie ahead.
So we are landing on some moss. Is there a sky above us?
There is the sky above you, and as you sort of descend onto the mossy outcrop, the stairs behind you just kind of fade and vanish, and you're left alone in the woodland.
Oh god, so we're outside again.
Yes, we're outside again.
Are you serious?
What?
At least we can see the stars. Can I see something strange about the stars? Are they still in the right spot and everything?
What was your astronomy?
Yeah. Can I roll?
You certainly can.
So I think that's gain knowledge, right?
Yep.
And then add my astronomy bonus. So that's a 9.
Okay. You are supremely confused because the entire night sky is backwards. It's as though you're looking at it through a mirror.
There we go. Okay, Cassia, this is something that I talked to you about, you know? This is where it all breaks down and things start happening. This is where the stars are important, and at the same time they tell you nothing. Because they keep hidden the thing that you want to know until it's too late.
Okay, in plain words, what are you trying to get at?
The stars are mirror imaged. They are reversed, they are mirrored, they are different. This is not real night sky, or everything has changed, or we just walked through a mirror, I don't know.
I'm just mooling this, like, my brain's working overtime, and I'm trying to figure this out. If there's anything in the history of Hogwarts or magic that refers to these trials or to these, like, movement in between different spaces that are not actually the spaces that you're in, but we seem to be in some sort of dream world or whatever.
So, would you like to give me some sort of history of magic roll then, please?
Yes.
Can I aid him by using the stars as guidelines and stuff?
Yeah, you can be telling him all about the stars.
So that's a 9 plus 2 for my intellect, which is 11, plus 1 for history of magic, because that's of course my favorite subject, for 13. Wait, what did I say?
And I'm...
12, sorry, 12.
I got a result of a 10, which is an 11 minus 1 for aiding you.
Excellent. So, all you can think... So you're sort of actively concentrating and trying to think about the thing. And all you've got in your head is the face of a giant pumpkin saying, "Not all the answers are in the library."
Stupid pumpkin.
Is
Why
there
are you cursing
anything else around? Like,
so while you've been talking, the moon's sort of been slipping up over the horizon, and you notice one of the larger trees is kind of swaying differently to all the other trees. They're kind of being shifted left to right in the breeze. This one seems to be shifting backwards and forwards.
well, something's going on with that tree. I suggest we take a look at it.
Yeah.
Imminent doom, people. Imminent doom.
If you'd like,
I can
you can
feel it.
stay back.
I was thinking about whether there was
Yeah, I think I'll stay
anything
back.
that I was thinking about if there was anything that I've ever read that talks about these trials or these shifting between places. And all I can think about is that stupid pumpkin telling me that not all the answers are be found in the library. So that's what that was about.
It's a rather annoying comment to hear twice today.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, instead of checking the library then, let's check out this tree.
But that's the thing, I actually agreed with the pumpkin.
So does that mean you're going to stop acting like you're terrified of going outside? Maybe get some sunlight on your face once in a while?
Or moonlight.
Moonlight's good too.
You think that would look that would look good on me?
I think we should go look at this tree. he's just kind of like...
I'm just saying very loudly, awkward.
So I'm going to walk straight up to the tree.
Excellent.
Uh,
A frontal assault has never been a bad thing. So,
yeah,
as you approach the tree, so you're just getting into its boughs, you hear a deep, threatening growl. And right in front of you brings a large creature down from the trunk to stand right in front of your face. It has the head of a lion, the body of a goat, and the horned tail of a dragon.
Manticore.
So,
Or
everybody
chimera.
gets one reaction to a large creature suddenly appearing in front of you.
I
Yeah.
would like to immediately react with a stupefy charm.
Excellent.
How far is he from us? Because we didn't really move. He was the only one who went up, right?
Up 10 feet.
About 10 feet.
Just kind of walked directly towards the tree.
Then, like, after he does the stupid spell, I'm going to, like, aim my wand and just be like, Protego! And try to protect him while also, like, getting away from this thing.
Okay. Laufrey.
Laufey. So I think actually at the same time as the stupefy, I point my wand at the creature and say Petrificus Totalis.
Okay. Okay. And then... Oxley? What's your reaction?
I'm putting my wand against my neck and I say sonorous and I say, stay there! Really loudly.
Okay. And Griselda, what's your reaction?
Griselda also yells at Protego, but just to protect herself.
I love it.
Natural
Excellent.
instinct.
So that's the initial reactions.
Yes.
So, what I'd like you to do first, because nobody decided to either
Talk to the creature.
run away or dodge or, try to think about what's just happened, I'm going to need you all to take a bravery test, please.
That's not going to be good.
Uh-oh.
6.
6.
7.
6.
I rolled a 6 and a 1.
Smiling really wide.
You rolled a what, sorry?
Oh, I rolled a 6 and a 1 for 7.
6 and a
But I have
1, so 7.
bonuses, yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
My total
Yes.
with my modifier is 3.
Excellent.
So brave. So brave.
So, anybody who scored a 6 or... anyone who scored a 7 will now get a chance to attempt their spell.
Yes. All right. Petrificus Totalis. Here we go.
Sound is a bit low, I see in chat. Just so you know.
That's 7 plus 2 for magic for 9.
Okay, so Petrificus Totalis. The body bind curse
Yes.
hits the creature right in the stomach, and it kind of recoils a little bit and backs towards the tree, away from Septima, to give you a little bit of room, but is still growling and crouching down on its haunches. All of the other spells fail, because you're actually too scared to either get the words out or you just make the wrong one movements in that moment. Could you all mark off, everyone who failed, could you please mark off on your sheets the bravery tab? So you are scared, -2 to bravery.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dang, it changed on its own. That's a cool sheet.
Isn't it?
That's cool.
Yeah, for a split second, I was like, oh, wait, I have a -3. Oh, no, wait, I just... that just happened.
So, the creature is starting to eye up each of you, and is making prowling motions sideways as though to try and encircle the group. So what would you all like to do? You have one reaction.
I would like to finally gather courage and actually cast the charm that I'm really good at. Do I have to pass another bravery check to do that?
No, you'll be able to. You're just at -2 bravery until something else happens.
Okay, so yeah, Septima, who was like finally saw like the spell come over his shoulder, and so he just doubles down and takes a leap back a couple feet and casts Stupefy.
Okay. Next is Cassia.
Yeah, so she was also like just her wand movements were completely off, her hands shaking as she yelled Protego, and now that she sees it encircling, she's going to go Fumos, and she's just gonna like conjure some smoke in front of her and try to like keep herself obscured from this creature. Is there any way she can like back up so that she's no longer being encircled by it, or
You can certainly sort of back away from where it's walking towards and cast the smoke charm. The smoke conjuring spell. So that's a duration spell.
okay, then that's
Okay.
what she's doing.
Next would be Laufey.
All right. Well, I'm hitting stride here, so I immediately go for the attack again. As I wave my wand, point at the beast in front of us, and say, "Diminuendo," and try to shrink it down to a harmless size.
Attempting the shrinking charm.
Yes.
Okay. Next is Loxley.
Yeah, so I remember the times when we were doing Defense Against the Dark Arts and training on the Boggart. And I remember that it changed into a clown for someone, or into a spider for someone, and someone made it dance, and that made it really silly. So I'm going to use, because I know it's not a Boggart, or at least I don't think, I'm going to say Tarantalegra, and try to make it dance.
So Tarantalegra is the dancing hex.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we get a stunned, dancing, tiny manticore chimera.
If we manage our rolls.
Finally, Griselda, what would you like to do as a reaction?
Well, she can finally see what it is now. She couldn't see the animal before because everyone was standing in the way. So what she does, she gets her rucksack off her back and digs deep for her monster book of monsters.
So, you're going to do the gain knowledge.
Yep.
Excellent. Really do belong in Ravenclaw, don't you?
No, I'm cunning.
So, everybody casting a spell, please roll your dice for casting the spell. And would Griselda please roll for gaining knowledge on care of magical creatures, please?
13 for me.
And you were casting a charm.
Stupefy charm, yep.
Excellent. That has no effect. Next.
I got 11.
And you were casting the
smoke conjuring.
The smoke conjuring transfiguration spell.
Yes.
So you successfully conjure a small cloud of smoke that obscures you from sight. Laufey?
I rolled a 3 + 2 for 5 for the diminuendo charm, the shrinking charm.
So that also has no effect.
Yeah.
And then finally, I believe Tarantalegra.
Yes, so I rolled a 6 + 2 is an 8.
Yes.
And I hope it does dance.
So that is enough to make the legs of the animal in front of you start to wobble. It's not quite enough to do a full tap dancing monster, but it does certainly start to wobble, which means it's going to be off balance when it attempts to lunge in a second. But first, let's find out how digging through the monster book of monsters went.
So I got an 8, but care of magical creatures is my subject, so 9 in total.
Excellent. So you do gain some of the knowledge that you were after. This is indeed a manticore. Manticores are quite powerful magical creatures and are immune to charms.
Well, there you go.
Okay. I relay this to everyone. We'll kind of yell it through the battle going on.
Yeah.
Your efforts are pointless.
While waving my wand, I think you still fit better in Ravenclaw.
So there are 5 of you. So the only spell that really hits the creature.
Oh, I'm going to die again, aren't I?
was a Tarantegra curse. So its feet are kind of off balance, and it lunges directly at Loxley, but kind of fumbles. And so, rolling my 2 dice.
So does it provoke opportunity attacks for the others?
Okay.
I was actually just going to ask, is there any way I can cast Protego on him?
Yeah.
So, Protego is a charm.
Nope. It's a defense spell.
Protego.
Speaking to the charm master, I've got all the charms.
It is a defense spell, you're correct.
Which makes sense.
So that would be defense against the dark arts. You are correct. But you've already used your spell for this round.
Fair enough. I wanted to know if like a reaction is a possibility here, but
no. But if you had cast it on him, that would have worked.
I didn't know who was attacking yet.
It also has something to do every round. So you now mark off the injured, please.
Ouch.
Loxley.
Oh, truly. Uh-oh.
As it lunges past you and gets you with one of its spikes of the dragon tail. Which looks suspiciously like a Hungarian Horntail's tail.
Oh, injured, yeah. Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's a negative thing.
Yep.
It certainly is, yes. So, we're going to go round again. You all now are aware charms will have no effect.
No.
Right.
So, Septima.
Just looking at the pronunciation here.
Mm-hmm.
It's such small text on the screen. Okay. Then I'm going to, as soon as it kind of hits the ground again, and you can tell Septima's courage is wavering. He's backing up now as he thinks it out, and he looks down at the creature's, its lion's paws, right, like on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Points his wand and casts epoximize to stick his feet to the ground.
Okay. Cassia.
Hearing what Griselda had to say, she kind of like steps sideways, still kind of hiding behind this hoop of smoke, and goes, "Engorgio!" and casts the swelling hex on the creature.
Okay.
Kind of hoping that sticking one works at the same time as this one.
Yep. Laufey.
Yeah, I actually had a sort of similar idea to Septima. He's casting the sticking to the ground, and I was actually going for Locomotor Mortis, which is the leg locker curse.
Okay.
So he sticks to the ground, his legs lock up while everything swells up.
Okay.
I think you
Sounds
cast the wrong
expensive.
spell.
Yeah, someone did.
Sounded expensive. Loxley, what are you going to do?
Yeah, so I I think I'm a bit I'm pretty scared right now. So I cast. Oh no, that's a charm. I shouldn't do that.
Look,
I do Protego on myself.
Okay.
I was trying to see if I had any healing spells, but I don't. I'm sorry, Jasper.
No worries. No
And
worries.
finally, Griselda.
Griselda in awe is such an amazing creature. Can't raise her wand against it, but she does point it at Loxley and says, "Episky," the minor healing spell.
Cool. Thank you. Hopefully.
Once a cleric,
We'll get our
always a
spells
cleric.
off.
Yeah.
Always
So
a
those
cleric.
stick together.
So, for those of you casting spells, which I believe is all of you, please go ahead and roll.
Okay. Then magic is now reduced.
14.
14 for Epoximize.
And 13 for
Oh, sorry, it's not my
Locomotive
favorite
Mortis.
spell. It's actually 13.
A 13 for Locomotor Mortis.
I also got 13
Or
for the Engorgio spell.
Three
Engorgio.
13s. That should be like something special should happen.
Yeah.
I've got
Something special.
11 on my Protego.
So you successfully cast the Protego charm, which will block all magic.
Just as I point my wand at you and get a 12.
So the Episky charm bounces off this beautifully cast shield charm.
Truly?
Oh my god.
That's not what I was
Harsh.
doing.
Zelda just yells at him, "What are you doing? I'm trying to help you."
Ah!
Loxley, get out of there.
So, what's happening with the Manticore? Well, the Epoximize was one of the best chained charms chained transfiguration spells you've ever cast. Legs, the front paws, are now shackled to the floor. As you did that, a beautifully executed leg locker curse binds the hind paws together as a stinging hex hits it just below the jaw, and all of the jawline starts to increase. And so it's trying to sort of scratch its jaws. It can't because its legs are strapped to the floor. The hind legs are strapped together. It is not in a very good place right now. And so it spends its turn trying to tear itself free to scratch.
Sorry, the Engorgio spell is actually a swelling hex. It's like the kind of balloon. Like
Yeah, that's what's happening with the jaw.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
kind of swelling out. And, so I called it stinging. I meant swelling.
Okay.
Sorry, that's my it's my misreading it. So next set of reactions. The good news is, those of you who were frightened of this creature and just hit it with a spell are now no longer frightened.
All right.
We got this, guys.
We got this. Teamwork makes the dream work.
We will go around
Honestly,
again.
That made me so pumped up. Suddenly, like, we're wizards, guys.
So, Septima, what's your reaction?
I have a question, actually, because
Yes.
I assume I would have some concept of how possible this is.
Yes.
If I were to say, like, Accio, a weapon of some kind, like a sword, like, would I be able to get one from, like, anywhere? Is there a weapon that would be available?
You would need to know where it is
I
to
see.
summon it,
Okay.
and you also don't know where you are.
Right. I need to know the path in between?
Yes.
Okay.
You need to be able to visualize it coming to you for that spell to work.
Got it. Okay. So then all of my charms are out. In that case... Sorry. There's a lot of spells to look at.
There is a lot of spells.
Also, it's not helping that it is immune to the things that we are strongest at, I feel.
With that
Exactly.
stat.
Like my fourth year spell is also a charm, so
I'm just kind of hoping to find something that'll let me actually speak to it or something. Although I don't know if it can understand us. Maybe it already can. In which case, I'd like to just try to talk to it. I don't know anything about manticores, I assume. So
you're going to approach it and try to talk to it.
now that it's bound and all swollen up and everything, I'm going to say, we don't want to hurt you, but you're going to have to submit.
So that is going to be a get what you seek roll.
Okay.
You can choose bravery or cunning.
Oh, cunning, definitely.
And be prepared for that. Cassia?
Does she have eyes on Loxley? Does she see that he's hurt?
Yes, and I assume he yelped out in pain as he got hit by a manticore.
Okay, then I am going to, now that I'm feeling a little bit braver, I'm going to go run over to him and try to administer a Murtlap essence to him, which is a pain-soothing potion that should help cuts and abrasions.
Excellent. Laufey, what are you going to do?
it's a great question. Well, since Septima actually wants to talk to it, and I also was thinking about what are we going to do now? It's locked to the floor. Obviously, we're not going to kill it. So I'm just going to try and
I
do full body bind curse again.
Okay.
and try to just lock it in, and then so we can move on.
Okay. Loxley.
So since the swelling of his mouth, is his mouth open now?
Yeah, so
Hanging
I
open?
get the feeling it's sort of hanging open and with the tongue sort of lolling out to the side.
Yeah, so I'm searching for a sharp object on my body and finding a sextant, and I throw it into his mouth.
Okay. So I get the feeling that's going to be that will require you to make a stand in the face of danger roll, bearing in mind you're still frightened.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to make a physical sort of attack against
and
it.
I'm still injured, so...
Yes. But you can certainly try. Griselda, what are you going to do?
Well, seeing that Cassia's gone over to Loxley, she's quite happy that he's going to be all right. So she casts Protego between the Manticore and Septimus, who is stupidly walking closer to it.
Okay.
Bravely walking closer to it.
Potato,
Agree to
potato.
disagree.
Eagles may soar, but weasels don't get sucked into jet engines. So,
that's cool.
everybody casting a spell, please roll for that spell, and we'll resolve them first, and then we will have a look at the interactions.
Wait, that's a potion.
A potion is also
Yeah.
cast as a spell, so
9.
which is good. So you successfully poured the Murtlap essence over the wound. At the end of the next turn, that will then be taken care of with Loxley. The other spells?
Seeing Septima bravely walk towards the Manticore, I fear a bit for his life and point my wand and say Petrificus Totalis for 8
Against the Manticore.
against the Manticore. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
So that is... The Manticore goes rigid as a board, but doesn't really move because it's already locked to the floor.
Yeah.
It does go rigid.
Not the only one.
How was the Protego, Char?
Yeah, I got a 10.
Okay, so you successfully create a barrier between Septima and the Manticore. How did the throwing go?
Come on, guys. Yeah,
What
okay.
did you guys do?
Thing, I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
Okay.
you guys are crazy.
So it was, what was the get stand in the face of danger, right?
Yes, at a -3.
So with -3, I've got an 8.
Okay.
Ooh, wow.
So you are fairly successful. You managed to throw whatever it is you were throwing at the mouth of the creature, but it just kind of hits it and embeds into the side. Doesn't really
no.
have much of an effect.
No, but that's... Oh, dang. It needs to roll in.
Mhm.
But...
Okay, so how...
But wait, can I take make it successful, but then take a condition? Thing?
You could, if you used your luck for the session. Yes, you could make that as an extreme success.
Oh yeah, luck was a thing.
Yes.
Is it? Is it?
You each have 3 points of luck to spend.
Completely forgot
Okay, so
about
then
that.
I want to make it tip over and roll into his into the back of his throat.
Okay, that happens, but doing so, jars the essence of Murtlap that's being pushed all over your arm at the time. So you are going to be successfully healed by this. Cassia is going to get quite angry that you've just spilt all of her Murtlap juice all over the floor.
Okay, so I do get healed, but she spills too much of it. in
And
essence.
and the rest of the Murtlap is gone.
That took me all year to make that much.
Oh, Cassia, I'm so sorry. I'm going to help you make a new batch. I know when the time is right. to do such a thing.
So you are successful. What you were trying to do succeeds. Would you like to describe what happened?
Well, nothing yet.
Okay.
I'm hoping for the next round.
Excellent. So it's now lodged inside its mouth.
Yeah.
So how did the bravery roll go?
Oh, did I also have to make a bravery?
No, not for you. For
Oh,
Septima.
For me,
Who's
it wasn't
trying to
bravery.
talk?
It was cunning.
Cunning. My apologies.
13.
13. So, would you like to describe how you're trying to convince a captured manticore?
Yes. Like I said, he steps forward. And he straightens out and looks down at it and says, "Listen, obviously things got out of hand very quickly here, but we don't actually want to harm you. We're just trying to pass the challenges. If you submit, we can move on."
So, you hear a crack like a whip. And the manticore is gone, to be replaced by the image of your father. Standing right in front of you, and in a very sort of magically enhanced, loud voice. And he seems to be about 9 feet tall to everybody else looking, so he's kind of towering over you. The Protego charm stopping him from coming too close, but he is sort of towering over you. And he sort of says, "Stop trying to trade on my name at school. You know that I'm not going to write a letter to try and get you out of some stupid and ridiculous punishment."
That's cool.
Is
And
this
all of
because
this-
I let all your house elves go?
"You foolish boy."
Makes what
And-
I'm going to do so much worse.
That ends that round. So,
Okay.
let's go round again.
So instead of a manticore, we now have a fully moving
9 foot
9
version
dad.
of Septima. Of Septima's father, I should say.
Drethen Silvermane. You probably know him. He's very accomplished.
Sure, whatever.
So, Septima, what would you like to do? And you will be taking a bravery test at the beginning of this round.
Okay. Is this something like manticores can do at all? Like I don't know what the heck is happening.
You said you don't know what manticores can do.
Yeah, that's true.
So, how's your care of magical creatures these days?
Yeah, non-existent. Unfortunately, it's all about self-accomplishment for him. So I don't know what's going on anymore. This is not outside of the realm of something my father would do, but the timing's quite odd. So why don't we just double down on what we're doing here, and I'm going to use the stick fast hex.
Okay.
The Loshu, or whatever it is.
Sia, what would you like to do?
Uh,
Bearing in mind you're angry at this particular moment.
yeah, she is really angry. Until I hurt someone or break something. Oh my goodness.
Don't you love it when somebody else rolls and it affects you?
Lovely. She's just fine. She's just digging around in her coat, like trying to make sure she at least has something useful. And I don't know if this counts towards this at all, but she's just like, well, now this isn't going to be useful to us, and she just like grabs one of her invigoration, or not her invigoration draught, her sleeping draught, and just like chucks it on the ground angrily, and I'm gonna say that's that's her turn. Sorry, guys.
Okay, you're gonna smash a vial of potion in frustration.
Yeah.
That is the most Ravenclaw thing I've ever heard. Okay, over to Laufey.
You know, I'm using my brain. It's no longer a manticore. I'm waving my wand, pointed at the 9 feet father, and say, Depulsio! And cast the banishing charm on it.
Okay.
As I try to banish it to its own whatever.
Loxley,
Back to his
you are
mind.
now healed. You are now healed, but still afraid.
Yeah, so I move around Septima's father, duck a bit low, and thinking of my sextant, say, Axio, and think of the shortest route to my hand.
Okay.
So I hope it takes the other exit, so to say.
And then finally to Griselda.
And Griselda's going to go straight back in her book. Very confused as to what's going on.
I'm glad someone's
Furiously
doing
looking
that.
through the book. Excellent. So with all of those casting spells, please roll. Before Septima, before you cast your spell, would you mind making me a bravery test, please?
Right. Okay.
Because
So
you are
that's
quite afraid of your father.
Am I?
You are in this guise.
Okay. 9.
That is enough to shrug it off.
There's other things that might make him more afraid if that's what you're going for. You want a Dia?
Yep.
And then the spell, which is not a charm, so it's just magic. That's 8 as well.
Okay. How did everyone else's spells do?
I've got an 8.
8.
I rolled a 5 for 7, but going to spend a luck to make it into a 10 plus.
Okay, and that was the banishment
That's the
charm.
banishment, yes.
Which is 3rd year, top of my head.
I rolled an 11 for smashing my potion
fourth
really
year
well.
Okay, I'm just checking it now. And so you smashed the vial quite successfully.
Yeah, it's really smashed.
Okay, so you feel a bit of calm going through. That was sort of your way of dealing with losing all of your Murtlap essence. So I think you are now slightly calmer than you were. I can't see the banishing charm. Oh, the Pulsio. Okay, the banishing charm. Excellent.
Depulsio.
Right. So we'll start with Loxley. Your sextant, which was lodged in the throat of the manticore, comes flying directly through the back of Septima's father's skull, as though passing through smoke.
Oh, okay, that's another way. Yeah.
So it comes straight to your hand, doesn't even seem to phase anything. The banishing spell kind of knocks him sideways, but again just kind of passes through. But you do see like a whole load of black smoke sort of writhe through the body and then coalesce and reform again. And you cast which charm, Septima?
It wasn't a charm. It was the Stickfast Hex.
Which again has no effect. It just passes through like smoke.
Oh, okay, so we're literally like just dealing with an apparition of some kind now. Weird.
So, how did fumbling through the book go?
I got an 8.
Okay. This is clearly not a manticore. But you have seen a creature that coalesces itself into multiple forms out of black smoke. What creature coalesces itself out of black smoke into whatever form it chooses with the sound of a whip crack?
Boggart.
It's certainly probably a boggart.
Ridiculous. I yell out, "It's a boggart!"
So, Septima's father kind of looks around as all of this sort of chaos is going on and focuses on Cassia and suddenly turns into the potions master, standing over Cassia with the broken potion at her feet, saying, "You are atrocious at potions. I don't know why I bother teaching you. You are expelled from my class."
She's like immediately like picking up the pieces of the broken vial that she smashed and like trying to salvage any of the bits that Loxley had like spilled all over the place. I swear it was just a mistake. She's just like fumbling through all of these pieces. None of it is you can salvage it, but she is doing this based on instinct.
Sort of completely forgotten about wands and is just trying to gather up as much as she can.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're going to go round the table again. So, Septima, what is your...
Ridiculous.
Immediately casting ridiculous.
Yes.
Cassia, you are fumbling around trying to pick stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
Laufey.
I'll have you know that I am very interested in this subject of Bogart, so I'll just be standing there observing and trying to learn something. So I try to gain knowledge.
Okay, gaining knowledge. And then on to Loxley.
I walk a bit back and I say Turgio on my sextant. Which is the cleaning
okay,
spell.
yep, to clean the sexton off. That's a good plan. It's probably covered in manticore slobber. And finally,
9-foot father slobber. So.
And finally, Griselda.
Knowing what it is, I step in front of it so it can transform into my Thea.
Mm-hmm.
To then cast Ridiculous.
So, with a sound like a whip, it transforms. What does it transform into?
What is she most scared of?
I've had to come up with two on the fly.
House elf dead on the floor.
Okay.
Obviously, knowledge is power, so it upsets her, but she can cast the spell. She understands.
Excellent. So, you will be taking a bravery test for casting. But everyone casting a spell, please cast your spells. And for those gaining knowledge, if you would like to... Oh, Septima, casting Ridiculous.
Yes. So that is a 10 for me.
Excellent. Turgio, how did that go? Do we have a clean sextant?
I rolled an 8 in total again. So.
We have an absolutely clean sextant.
Yes.
Yes. How did the bravery test go?
Me terribly, so I'm going to use a luck.
Okay, yep, spend your luck, which means it succeeded. You're sort of visibly shaken. You can barely get the words out. Comes out a little bit broken, but you do manage the spell. And then finally, how was the gaining knowledge?
I rolled a 9, including my
Okay. You notice that it takes a few seconds for the boggart to sort of change form. And as it does so, you kind of get a glimpse of a black shape enshrouded in smoke. But you can see sort of long, crinkled fingers and a sort of skull-like head, because it's kind of against the moonlight. Normally you fight one of these things in an enclosed space. It's quite rare to fight one outside. So this is the first time you've seen it with bright light behind it.
does it seem like there's something behind it, sort of conjuring up and controlling this image? Or is
It's
the
almost yeah, it's almost like there's a tiny little goblin inside, sort of manipulating the smoke into different images.
yeah. Okay.
Kind of what you see.
Except for Goblin,
Um,
it's like a skull-faced, smoky.
a skull with a very, very, very thin skeletal body and sort of long, crinkled fingers as it's kind of
Right.
manipulating the smoke into a new form.
Right. Okay.
But you can't quite tell where the whip crack's coming from. The good news is the ridiculous spells both hit the boggart and it explodes into wisps of black smoke. As the black smoke is clearing, you hear the voice of the pumpkin magically enhanced throughout the woodland. And it kind of sounds sort of almost sad. So, combat should always be a last resort. And with those words, the tree that the manticore was hiding in sort of splits apart at the trunk and becomes another portal with stairs leading down into the darkness.
What was the last? So we totally forgot about linking up the trials to what we're actually doing. What was the last one?
Conviction.
Conviction. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Septima.
My pleasure.
Okay.
We should be on.
Yeah.
I say to Cassia, so should I help you brew 2 potions after this?
My mic is not
There you
working.
go.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Yeah, she just exclaims, "Phew, that was like a whole year's worth. Do you know how difficult it is to get those tentacles?"
I know. I think I helped you with some of them. So, my apologies. I'm really
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. She pulls out a calming potion, drinks it, and it's just like, "It's okay. You were afraid. I was afraid. I'm just glad that we made it through that test. I knew I wasn't going to do well anyway." And she like starts following the others down the stairs.
I still say, hey, Cassia, you shouldn't use potions just to get relaxed in this way.
It's perfectly fine.
No, you get there in your own time, you know? Not everything needs a potion, even though you're awesome at using them.
It does seem like
But you're
a
a
bit of a crutch,
resilient
to be
person
honest.
yourself.
It does seem like a bit of a crutch, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as she was taking out the potion, I am actually taking out a sort of tin flagon of sorts and start drinking. Oh, if we're doing that, and he starts drinking, and the smell of whiskey can be probably be smelled. We are in
Accio whiskey.
Oh no! If you just look at me, I'll hand it over. But yeah.
He doesn't want to do that right now. He wants to Accio it.
Okay, well, I let go of it.
Griselda's still quite shaken up by what she's seen, so she's just taking her time, putting her book back in her bag and trying to hide her tears from the rest of the group.
Yeah.
You could almost be in Ravenloft, Griselda.
Ravenloft? Do you even hear what you're saying?
That's a very different thing.
Wow.
It's becoming so disrespectful.
Mixing things. Yeah. Sorry, Ravenclaw.
She kind of just shrugs her shoulders but doesn't really respond.
Would you like some? And she tries to like offer some of the calming potion.
See us, proper fourth year students, just
Yeah, just
doing drugs.
Would you want some?
I'm 14 years old.
Hey, she's not a drug dealer. She's an apothecary. It's perfectly
Yeah.
acceptable.
It's legal. It's super legal.
Natural.
How do we always get back to laudanum? Like, how does this always happen?
Yeah.
Well,
We're like 14 years old, right? At this moment. Some of us
14,
maybe
15.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
That explains my beard.
Though, I mean, whiskey was in my life at that age, but I was a good kid, so.
I was just going to say, like,
But Septima
but
takes
kids,
like,
if you're 15 and you're watching this,
yeah, don't mistake what we did for something
No.
that you should do. It wasn't cool, wasn't good.
Was it cool back then? Is it cool right now?
Yeah. Remember, kids, there's nothing funny about making people laugh.
That's
Wait.
also true.
So Septima takes a long swig from the flask, using up about half of whatever's left. And
Yeah.
then he brings it back over to him, and without looking at him, kind of hands it to him and says, "You know a lot about boggarts, right?
mm,
I thought they were supposed to be your worst fear."
they can be, but we don't know a lot about. We actually don't know a lot about boggarts. That's why I was doing the research in the first place, which got me the tension to
So why
fight a
didn't you
boggart.
recognize him then?
But let's talk about this later.
Okay.
And I take the whiskey back and just finish the rest of the thing.
There's no drunk status on the sheet, so we're safe.
But
That is correct. However, there is
a reason.
a hexed. There is a hexed status, which is -1 to a trait of the narrator's choice. And I believe, having just imbibed a mind-altering draft,
Intellect.
that Laufey is now -1 intellect.
Can I also say that I have been very clear about having a lefty fold core in my wand,
You are, yes.
which gets stronger at night, or
It does.
when you're under the influence.
It certainly does. So while you'll have -1 intellect, you will have +1 power. So, are we going to be descending the next set of stairs?
Yes,
Okay.
let's do it.
For Hex,
So-
he doesn't automatically do it.
No, it's because -1 to a choice of my trait of my choice, which
Yeah.
is going to be intellect.
Yeah.
So, descending the stairs, once again you find yourself in a dark, unfathomable void as you begin the descent down the stairs. No concept of how far left or right you could potentially fall. As you descend, the stairs abruptly end into the void. And you have no way of stopping it, you just suddenly start to fall. You only fall for a couple of seconds, and then are stood on a circular platform. The platform is only 10 feet across. The void extending out into the darkness further than you can see. There is a solitary candle sat on a plinth in the center of this circle sort of flet that you're stood on. There are 5 pathways leading off the flet. Each one has an item sort of magically hovering over the first step down the pathway. They're kind of ghostly apparitions, and what you can see is a sword, a cup, a book, a wand, and a shield. Over, well, sort of all around you, you hear the voice of the pumpkin. By now, you should know the answer to your convictions. Only one pathway will lead to salvation. Choose.
Okay, so there's 5 paths, and there's
Mhm.
5 of us. So I thought we would be all picking our own item, which would match our conviction, and then we would go, but the pumpkin just told us there's one path. So we should try to figure out.
But what if there's only one path for each of us if we choose the wrong one?
What do you think your items are?
What I've ever wanted was to be the most powerful wizard. I think the wand is for me.
So we actually have the same ambition then. Septima.
So what are all the items again?
Sword, cup, book, wand, and shield.
So we're actually going to negate the thing that the pumpkin is saying. That's only one.
Well,
I
he
don't.
says there's only one path, but we don't know if he's speaking literally or figuratively, metaphorically.
I would think that either the book or the wand would fit my general passions. So I don't feel like there's any one that really fits for me. But as a group, maybe. What do we think?
As a group, it was disappointed in the fact that we fought our way out. So there are at least 3 things that I see as part of combat, which are the sword, wand, and shield.
Well, I've heard Septima say that the wand would fit best because trying to be the most powerful wizard, and then so did you, and then I think a wand would fit for me because I don't want to be the most powerful wizard. I just want to be the best wizard that I can be by gaining knowledge. So those
I'm also
3.
split between 2. So, and that doesn't include the wand. So
Ah,
Well, I have no doubt at all. And he's gonna step out towards the wand.
Here we go.
Okay. You manage one step on the pathway, and the wand lights up. And then the pathway disappears, and you plummet into the dark.
People?
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm drunk. I throw myself after him, trying to grab him. I sort of just lie flat on my on my belly over the cliff, just try to grab him.
Okay, as it is a rapid reaction to that happening. Yep. I'm going to give you, Laufey, one shot at this. So one shot. What spell are you going to cast?
one opportunity.
Oh my god. Can
Is
I?
he casting a spell? I thought he was just trying to grab you.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
trying to grab him.
He's just jumped over. If you're gonna do it as a physical roll, that's fine. If you're just gonna try and grab his boots, you're gonna get one reaction or one spell.
I knew I was going to see the word spaghetti in chat right away. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's So I know that Wingardium Leviosa doesn't work on people, so that's not going to work. So okay, so there's a cliff, and he was on a pathway, and that pathway disappeared. He's now just falling. Like if I were to push him, could I push him to another side?
No, the whole pathway's gone. You're either going to grab his ankles or cast a spell.
And then I'm grabbing his ankles.
Okay, then it is just a swift reaction, straight up physical roll. So bravery.
Don't worry, that's my best roll. It is not. That's a 6 and a 5 for 11. I can't believe it.
So
As
Septima starts to fall, he sort of falls face first away from the platform, and you just react, and you've managed to wrap your arms around his ankles. So he's now just pointing straight down into the void, with you holding onto his ankles.
Don't worry, Septima, I got you. I got you. I'm never letting go. Wait,
No,
that's
we're
not what I
Zelda
meant.
jumps
supposed
in
to
as well.
happen.
Wait, what?
I think you should. He's just like hanging perfectly calmly upside down. I think you're forgetting. This was the test of conviction.
Are we going to drag him back up, or is he just going to hang there forever?
No, I'm going to drag him back up.
I'm trying to help.
Yeah,
Okay.
helping.
I don't think that's going to be a roll, per se. I think you just drag him back up. But you now have a choice of 4. So the wand is gone. And you are left with a shield, a sword, a cup, and a book.
Zelda's panting heavily from the exertion of having to help and looks over at Septima and is like, seriously, you're such an idiot.
I have my convictions and I stand by them.
They were wrong.
Well, then you tell us which path to take, and you can take the first step.
Well, I need
Well,
to recover. Thank God
how do-
Alfie's got a quick reaction.
How do we know that we didn't just break the whole test? What if he
That's
was supposed to go there? What
that's
if
what I
all
was
of us were
thinking.
supposed to go through one?
Then we failed the test, and then we are here for all eternity.
Oh,
And I'm.
Well,
I'm
is there
Let's
anything? Is there anything else you'd like to try and do? Bearing in mind you have skills that you can do, moves
Shut
that
up, we're
you
not
can make.
interested in your magic, all right?
What are you talking about, Ash?
We're here to argue with our friends, okay?
Not everything can be solved by magic.
We are having a totally pointless discussion right now. We'll
You-
come back when we're ready.
You
We take
told
on
us
fake
not to
accent
use our
and
magic
yell
for
at each
everything.
other.
So you do have basic moves that you can do. You can gain knowledge, get what you seek, play hide and seek if you want, help or hinder somebody.
Well, let me try to gain some knowledge then.
Okay,
I'm trying to look at constellations.
so roll plus intellect.
9 plus 1 is 10.
9 plus 1 is 10. That's fine. So you're concentrating really, really hard on trying to sort of like think of what the conviction would be. And into your mind comes the words of Artemisa Lufkin as she sent you on your quest. Magic cannot solve all of your problems.
Yeah. So magic can't solve all of our problems, people. Remember that?
Yes, that's the way a Hufflepuff would think.
Oh.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then maybe we should not go down any of the paths that would be directly tied to magic.
There was
Is the
also
cup-
the cup in the first challenge.
Right. The symbol of Hufflepuff. We're being punished by a Hufflepuff.
Maybe it's
Right.
the cup we need to take.
So what did the cup say to you?
I don't remember it speaking.
Yeah, the silvery lady came out.
The
Helga.
house is power conflict. United.
What's written? What else did it say?
The house forever in conflict. United by traits that signal their doom.
So that was written on the tablet when you...
But what did she say? That's
Oh,
skip 2
okay.
minutes back in the stream? No.
So for whoever clipped that, we need that link now.
Yeah. Give us the clip right now. Thank you.
I can't actually remember what she said.
Okay.
Can I say that
Was it-
Griselda wrote it on the back of her hand, but it's kind of faded, so she needs to work out.
Okay,
With
yeah,
knowledge.
you can definitely try and think about it
Yeah.
with a knowledge roll.
Because we're thick as a plank, Eli.
Yeah. When should we
I got a 7, but I'm going to use the luck one again.
Okay, so you're going to use your luck. So, to do that, you actually take out a small pen or a small quill and you scratch over the words, thus giving yourself a little bit of damage. So you're actually bleeding from the hand
Ooh.
and are injured.
Wow.
But you do manage to sort of get it back, and it says, "Why feast when there is work to do?"
I relay this to
Oh.
everyone again.
Riddles.
So perhaps it is the cup, because work could be any of the others.
Oh, I actually had written that down.
Anybody else like to try?
I'm feeling bad now for all the times I made fun of Careful Cantrip. Their puzzle solving ability.
Well, like, Reina was
Alright,
with us.
if
during-
you're all too scared to do it, then I'll do it. The abyss
Do
doesn't
what?
scare me. He looks at Laffy, and then he goes.
I
and
take
takes a
your,
step.
I agree. I take your hand, and I.
Seeing that, Cassia takes Loxley's hand and then just kind of forms like a chain grabbing on to your cloak.
So which one are you going to try?
The cup.
Okay, so as you put a foot on it, it disappears. So you're left with
Sword, shield, and book.
sword, shield, and book.
I'm
But
paying
as you
attention.
do this, your foot swings round, and this time you've probably broken your ankle. It was already weakened from the first time you tried, and now you've probably broken your ankle having done that. So if you'd like to take the injured case 2.
Take it.
That's so funny. Remember that I said that I got detention because I accidentally broke the ankle of Warren? Now here we are.
Yeah, I got detention for examining a Bogart, and we were fighting a Bogart like 10 seconds ago. 10 minutes, probably.
Nothing related to my detention happened, so.
Why-
Griselda's
What I-
kind of annoyed at this stage, and she kind of rolls her eyes at Septima and is like, "This is what happens when you drink," and then points to his foot and says, "A whiskey."
Okay, we'd like to roll for that, please.
The whiskey bottle is empty, but yeah, sure.
8.
Okay, so you manage to heal the bones, but it is still heavily sprained. Pisky is only a
Minor
bone
healing.
severing charm. So
Oh.
Well, thank you. That does feel a bit better, but, when this whole thing started, you were accusing me of not being willing to do my own work. And now you're criticizing me for sacrificing myself for everyone. And I feel like I'm being very harshly judged throughout all of this.
You're acting like a victim. You were doing something stupid.
I was doing something because I believed it to be right. If everyone acted the way I did, this world would be better for it.
Oh, at least you made a decision, that's true.
I mean, it has helped us, luckily, and you're okay, but that ego is something else.
I just want to say that I'm so drunk that when she said something pisky, I thought she said something whiskey and was going after my whiskey. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm sorry.
So, would anybody else like to sort of think about what you've been told today?
You don't learn in books.
Oh,
Remember that saying? Something
Yeah.
about books. Not everything you learn is in books. So I feel
Don't-
like a book is off the table.
don't fight. So it's not the sword. It's not the book. Don't
The
don't
shield.
feast while you
Possibly
can
the thing
work.
that
So it's not the
unites.
cup. So it's the shield.
Shield.
Yes.
Protect us.
Okay.
Who wants to risk
I
it?
step on the shield.
Yeah, but we all hold hands.
Yeah.
Before we like make our way over to that door, Cassia pulls out 2 small vials and hands one to Griselda and one to Septima. This will help us all be on the same page. Trust me. And she, whether or not you want to take it, she just kind of hands it and then is like forming the chain again.
Let me. Okay.
Zelda gives her a rare smile and says, "Thanks, it's Katia, right?"
Lean into it.
Ouch.
That's fantastic.
Ouch.
Um,
So, are either of you going to drink that before we
immediately,
step
without
off?
question.
Immediately, without question. Cassie, would you like to roll for that, and then tell us what it was?
An 11.
Okay.
And now Septima believes Cassia to be his best friend. It was a friendship potion.
Aw.
Excellent. So he's already injured. He's now embarrassed.
To be my friend.
What? Why am I embarrassed? I'm supposed to be her friend now.
Because stuff happens.
Damn it, man. Just intentionally fucking up all my rolls.
Absolutely.
Uh,
So,
You know,
as you step
Cassia,
out... Oh,
I'm
go on.
so grateful that you just would give me a gift like this out in front of everyone, no less. A bit odd, but it's. I'm just so glad we could be friends. Can I give you a hug?
I just want to mention that I have never let go of your hand. I'm still holding your hand. So whatever you're doing,
So we're
Please coming to.
He's still holding your hand, too.
having a friendship huddle right now in the middle of your game. I'm sorry, but this is happening.
I just say this is weird, and I start hugging as well.
Griselda gives them all an evil look and says, "I've met flobberworms more interesting than you lot."
And yet everyone treats me like the asshole.
does anyone know a cold charm? Because I think we need it for all these burns.
Castia's moving them while they're hugging over to the shield door.
So, as you step out onto the shield platform, onto the shield pathway, it stays absolutely firm. And you hear a voice that sounds remarkably like the Helga Hufflepuff voice you heard earlier. That says, the ability to shield others should be your truest conviction as a sorcerer. And you're able to
Wow.
walk across.
I thought we were wizards.
Don't get us started on this.
So,
All right, I have meta magic then, so I'm gonna.
yeah. So, that's led to you being quite stressed out by the whole situation of not knowing whether you're a sorcerer or a wizard. Adds stress as well.
I was kidding.
It's been quite a stressful day, to be honest.
I can't spare 2 intellect.
So, as you're walking along this pathway, again, just with a void either side of you, you finally reach a set of stairs that go up. And as you're ascending the stairs, there seems to be a bright light at the end. And you emerge from one of the tree roots directly in front of the pumpkin.
Ooh.
And
Okay,
the pumpkin,
let's cut off its fucking head and just leave.
so the pumpkin looks at you all in turn and says, "Ah, I see you survived. No one goes through the challenges unscathed. Not even I." And 2
Let's have a-
tendrils come across and rip its own head off, and it places it down on the ground in front of you.
Calcia
Wow.
makes a comment about how Septima does have a broken ankle. Like, we didn't come out here unscathed.
I,
Literally, in some cases.
as it places its head in front of us, I'm gonna use Diffindo to cut X's over the eyes. Like
Absolutely.
yeah, just like as a
Absolutely.
mark of victory. We did it.
Yep.
We won. The Pumpkin King is dead.
Absolutely. So, you do have the candle, and you were told once your quest is over to light the candle,
Yes.
and you will be transported back to the office.
Yes.
Then puts his wand away and pulls out the candle.
Well,
Looks
since
to-
I'm still holding your hand,
I was
can-
just about to say, looks to Laffy, whose hand he's still holding.
Yeah, I'm totally going to the fire conjuring. Incendio! And
Is anybody going to grab the pumpkin?
Yeah, yes.
It was huge. How do you grab the pumpkin?
you
So
just
the
need
great
to
thing is-
just hold
A
it.
finger on it.
My arm through one of its eyes and get it out of the mouth and just drag it along.
The
Do you
great
have a
thing about
shrinking
port
spell?
keys. Well, the great thing about port keys is you just need to be touching somebody who's touching the port key
I see.
and touching the object, and you will be weightless. You'll just magically be transported.
Yeah.
So, the port key glows with a giant blue glow and takes you straight back to the office of Artemisia Lufkin,
Who's also wearing
who is still scribbling away at her correspondence, and you all appear with a clatter in front of her desk. She's
Is
just
the
scribbling
tension
away,
over now.
and she kind of looks up and says, "Oh, you're back. How did it go?"
We got your pumpkin head.
Oh, wonderful! And the feast is due to start any minute, so you even made it back on time. I am slightly shocked. I thought you would have just taken option B, to be honest with you.
Well,
What
you were
the?
shocked.
Be eaten by the pumpkin.
Well, it does happen from time to time, yes.
Why would we choose that though?
Well, I don't know. You're not Hufflepuffs. It's quite a difficult task if you're not a Hufflepuff. You've actually got to look out for each other.
Wait, I
I think we
resent that
managed okay.
statement.
And she kind of looks down and she looks around and she says, well, I suppose there's only one thing left for us to do, really, isn't there?
Heal my foot?
She pulls out her wand and points it directly into the centre of the party. Obliviate.
Oh.
Oh.
That's nice.
No such.
Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot everything.
Yeah, we
No.
forgot.
That's
So now with
Wow.
absolutely no memory, I'm going to look down and be like, why am I holding this guy's hand?
Why is your ankle broken?
well, I know why I'm holding your hand though. So
Well, I mean, I know as well, but like not in the same, like it's,
Wow. Okay, that's cool, man.
yeah,
that was something. Can you come back and talk to us now?
yeah. Please. That was amazing.
You're weirding me out.
So I have a question, like right off the bat.
Yes.
Is did you plan this after you like knew what houses and stuff we were all playing?
No, I just made the assumption that nobody would pick Hufflepuff. Somewhat correctly.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like it's like, oh, you have to look out for each other. It's like, oh shit, we're all like bad people like that. Like,
I mean, I'm in detention for looking out for somebody. It
well, so am I.
But by
it hurts
hurting
somebody
someone else.
so-
I almost
Yeah.
jumped off a cliff to save someone. So
Yeah.
Kind
It's-
of
it-
felt
drunken
joy
me.
at times. That's a good thing as well.
it was just tough trying to get all the imagery in. That was the key. And then herding
Oh,
cats
thank-
for the next fight.
thanks, Ellerings.
Good job, Val.
Yeah, Val
Um,
just clipped the Obliviate. That was,
Obliviate.
That was such a
That was good.
yeah, that
was
was the
good.
perfect ending, Ash.
Yeah,
Just
perfect ending. Yeah.
I must admit, I did when we were discussing doing a Harry Potter one shot. I did start with the ending, which was I'm definitely going to obliviate you at the end. that's happening
awesome.
regardless of whatever we do. So
yeah, there were. A
I'm
few
sorry we're so bad at riddles.
Yeah.
but we've done quite a lot of sort of combat-y things recently. I think it's quite nice to do. And there was 2 Ravenclaws. I couldn't help myself. I had to go
Also,
down.
listen, I think we sort of, and you gave some hints here and there, but we sort of solved them all. Where, like the last puzzle we had to solve in a D&D game, we just didn't solve it. It was in a one shot, and we didn't solve it. And the DM just had to say, which was Rogier, was our Gary Con one shot. He was like, "Okay, moving on." So yeah. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Ash, for preparing this. And this was so much fun. It's such a great system. So, and I'm going to grab his name here, just to say it correctly. David Brunel Broodman, you did an amazing job on a very fun system that is free enough where people can use their own imagination, but has enough rules to sort of make things random and guide a story into directions that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, and I will say from a DM's perspective, it's such a free and open system. Like if you're looking for just a very quick game that you don't want too many rules. It's only the whole thing's like 20 pages long.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you love the Harry Potter world, honestly, guys, go check it out. It's a great game and lots of fun.
Also, I have to do a shout out to Tabletop Audio, which the music you heard in the countdown at the beginning of the stream and during the break was by Tabletop Audio. We used that audio during our D&D streams on our YouTube channel as well. So we add that music in later to sort of up the atmosphere somewhat of our episodes. And I have to give a shout out to all the lovely people who made all those pictures and the videos that I used in the intro cinematic and the photographs you've been watching. They were all free to use without attribution, but I will throw a link down in the thing when the video is on YouTube, so you can all find that stuff, because it's amazing that people put this up freely for us to use. So, and then of course I want to thank everyone that joined me tonight in playing this game. Thank you so much, Sam. I really loved your character. You did such a great job, and I just want to remind everyone that this was the first time streaming online, and I know that you don't have Twitch on there at the moment, so you're just playing a game, and you did so great. And I would love to have you back anytime. And like I would love to revisit Hogwarts as well, because I really enjoyed this session. Also, thanks Shanks and Vixx, as always. You were great.
Yeah.
And yeah. Can't wait till you join us again, which is in 2 weeks for Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, we just keep coming back. We love being here.
Yeah, and we love having you here, and you're always welcome. So yeah, in 2 weeks our Call of Cthulhu one shot, which Ash is also a part of. Thank you, Ash, once more as a player that time for the Call of Cthulhu one, not a game master. And lastly, Jasper, thank you for being here. Sorry, you won't be there for the Call of Cthulhu one, because you died during our last one shot.
Yeah, what happened to your character last time, Jasper?
You shot me.
Hey, I did hit you with a chair. I did hit you with a chair as well, I think.
And to be fair,
you were trying to cut my brain open, so
no, he was cutting at your throat. He was trying to stop you. I rewatched the episode to prepare for the next one, and he was trying to cut your throat so you couldn't speak anymore.
Such a goat rodeo.
Yeah, it was. I don't know where that came from, but buddy,
My medical knowledge.
Are we gonna tease as well what we're gonna do after that in the parallel projections?
Oh yeah, you're
be a lot
free
of
to.
fun.
Yeah, you're free to tease that, because there's a couple of things that we're planning to do.
There is. So after the Call of Cthulhu, so that's in 2 weeks' time, and then 2 weeks after that, I believe we're going to the wonderful world of Avatar.
Yes. Yes.
I guess I'm just on this channel now.
Yeah. maybe we can can't we co-stream it on Topdown Tabletop or something? Because I feel like this is becoming as much as product of yours as it is of ours. We should figure it out.
Yes.
But yeah, the Avatar RPG one shot, which I'm really excited about, especially after playing this one, because that's also based on the Apocalypse system.
It is, and the rules they've put them out for free. The brand new the teaser rules and the basic rules of the system. So we're going to give that a go and go and explore an Airbender temple.
Yes,
we're going to give that a shot.
One other thing I also have to mention that I had to say it. My son made this wand, and I had to do a shout out because he was very proud of it. So
it's a very good wand.
It's a very good one.
Oh.
Thank you, Wouter.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to Michel.
I don't know what to say anymore. Does anyone else want to add something? Just throw it out there before we finish the stream tonight. How was chat? I haven't been able to read chat much, but is there anything chat would like us to say or answer or whatever? We'll wait. It's not like we got anything.
Yeah, we got all day.
Yeah, we
got nothing else going on.
It's
we certainly finished on time, unlike Call of Cthulhu.
That's true. We actually finished on time, so we're all just kind of confused. We're not rushing out of here.
So listen, for the next
You say why no Hufflepuff? I have been a Hufflepuff since day one. I just knew there wouldn't be anybody else. There's very few Hufflepuffs in the world.
Well, and I've told you this before. I think the personality-wise, and for me, I think the Sorting Hat would sort of shuffle between Ravenclaw, which is what I like to do, read and gain knowledge and learn as a scientist. But personality-wise, I think I would have been Hufflepuff. So who knows?
There's no doubt in my mind that I would have been in House Slytherin.
There is no doubt.
Yep.
There is no doubt in my mind that you would have been in house.
Yeah, I think nobody's doubting that.
Yeah, nobody's gonna doubt that one. I'm okay with it. That's who I am.
Yeah, we accept it.
Or do you guys want to raid somebody?
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
How do you guys feel about that?
yeah, I would definitely want to raid someone. So it's always weird
Online.
because I'm not on my own channel or my own account. I'm on the Voidcast account now, and it doesn't have all the things that I have. So, are there any suggestions for a raid?
Yeah, actually, somebody that showed up earlier, but now they're streaming. Marquee Gaming. I can throw it in the chat there if you want to copy and
Yeah,
paste it.
yeah, please.
Great.
And now I have to remind myself. Is it
//
Yeah, /raid, and then the name, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to hit enter on that message in a moment. Thanks everyone for sticking around for Harry Potter one shot. We had a great time. Tune back in tomorrow for our Talking Void episode, where me and Jasper will be talking about the community's answers to the episode or the TTRPG session that made them laugh the hardest. Something
Or cry.
like that.
Or cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or cry. So
Yeah.
I already know my answer, which was a certain ninja one shot.
That made you cry the hardest. Yeah, I know.
It made me cry a lot.
Why am I friends with these people?
Yeah, especially the next morning when I woke up, like, why did I do this?
I'm still not entirely convinced that entire episode, that entire thing we did, wasn't just a sort of drunken coffee fever dream.
No.
I've actually had to check Twitch to see if the episode was actually on there to verify that it was actually an actual thing that happened and not some weird fever dream.
That
And-
checks out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so tune back tomorrow.
right.
Go check out when your next stream is on Saturday, right? Topdown Tabletop.
No,
Actually,
we've
we're
got-
taking
Oh,
we're
yeah,
taking
that's
some
the-
time off, so
Yeah.
we won't be back till November 6th.
Yes. Well,
But we will be coming back with Wizards of Zakaria, finally.
More
with
wizards.
A whole new cast member.
yes.
Mhm.
And who is the cast member?
You may know him as Petulant Cobra.
Yeah, it's
His
Petulant.
name's David. He's a fantastic role player and a good friend and, real pillar in the community. So,
Yeah, you have added so many awesome people to your channel, and I'm really curious to see where that's heading. And I'm also super interested to see where the third campaign is starting, because starting third campaigns is the jam at the moment. So anyway, thank you all for joining us tonight, and please join us in our raid of Marquee Gaming. What should we say when we enter chat?
Oh, I've already said you've got to jump in and cast Expelliarmus, as
Yeah.
nobody cast
That's
tonight.
All caps Expelliarmus.
Yeah, all caps, expelliarmus. Maybe somebody
Okay.
can throw in the chat so everyone else can copy paste it. Throw some nice emoticons in there if you have them.
anything vaguely wand-shaped will do.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Thank you very much.
manticores.
Like tentacles, right?
Yeah.
We're rating in 8, 7, 6 seconds. See you all next time. Bye bye.
Goodbye.